Hey Canucks fans, it's become a tad more difficult to re-sign unrestricted free agent Travis Hamonic. I'm Canuck Clay. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. This is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Friday, June the 18th. Subscribe for Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Just before I get to Travis Hamonic, I want to say thanks to everyone who reached out regarding my YouTube premiere, my interview with Cam Robinson from Elite Prospects. We debuted that last night. Wonderful chat. He broke down the top 10 in the expected top 10 in next month's NHL entry draft, including player breakdowns, player comparables, and do the Canucks actually have a shot at getting each player. It's an amazing chat. He breaks it down so simply. So make sure that you check that out. My interview with Cam Robinson that I posted last night. Okay, let's talk about Travis Hamonic really quickly. You guys know that I like the player. I like him a lot. For me, he was the unsung hero of the team. And I thought he had a pretty solid season from March onwards. Well, remember, he was signed as a free agent. He took a $1.25 million salary, or 1.2, but basically a third of what he was making in his previous salary of his previous contract of $3.75 million. So we signed him right before training camp. There's no training camp. We signed him right before the season started. And we knew that Travis Green wanted a veteran defender on the blue line, especially on the right side. And we knew that Hamonic wanted to play in Western Canada after skipping the bubble in last year's playoffs. So that really limited his, where he wanted to go between Calgary, where he came from, Winnipeg, Edmonton, Vancouver. Those are the four Western Canadian teams. If you want to consider Winnipeg, you consider Winnipeg a Western Canadian team. So he came to Vancouver, had a rough start because remember he hadn't played for a year and a half. Then he got injured, a rib injury. And then he came back, and in March, he was good. He was solid. He was, I think, the main reason that Quinn Hughes' game finally settled down in March, and then why the overall defensive game of the Canucks settled down in March as well. Of course, Thatcher Demko had a lot to do with that as well. The whole team played quite well in March as they tried to fight back into a playoff position, ultimately coming up short. But Travis Hamonic had a solid game. You guys know there's so many reasons why I like him. He's almost like Chris Tanev light. He's kind of injury prone like Chris Tanev, unfortunately. But he's also a solid right side, stay at home, heavy shot, block shots, stand up for your teammates. We know at the end of the season he was fighting, he was scoring goals. Remember, he's got that half clapper, right? He doesn't go with the full slap shot that I've always talked about. And he gets it on net, and it's a hard, direct shot. So these are all the reasons why I like Travis Hamonic. And at the end of the season, two things. At the end of the season, we knew that he was to become a UFA. We knew it, so therefore we wouldn't protect him in the expansion draft. But then last week, I did a video about Edler and Hamonic, and almost unanimously, people were saying, bring Hamonic back. Edler, not so sure, depends on term, of course, and money, but Hamonic should be a no-brainer. I thought so too, but then, just yesterday, we hear from Elliot Friedman that Hamonic has said, or through his agent, or I can't remember if it's Hamonic or his agent, maybe a combination of both, that he is not going to limit his options to Western Canada, that he is indeed open to playing throughout the entire league. And maybe that's because more people are getting vaccinated, maybe because his family's getting older, maybe he's out of the woods when it comes to health issues with his daughter. I'm not sure what the actual reason is, or maybe, just maybe, this is a complete negotiating tactic. And you can't blame Hamonic for that. You can't blame his agent and his people for that. Obviously, he's coming off a one-year deal. The season was just okay, but like any other player, he wants security. He wants a multi-year deal, and I'm sure he wants to make more than $1.2 million. So remember, when you're thinking about Travis Hamonic, not only are you thinking about the Canucks need him, right? Because the Canucks are coming back with Hughes and Rathbone, Myers and Schmidt. Those are the only four for sure, right? Because Jordy Ben was traded at the end of last season. Edler's a maybe. Juolevi, I'm not sure if he's a top 6 guy yet. So then you still need one more guy on the right side. And if it's not Travis Hamonic, who's it going to be? So Hamonic would seem to be the natural fit given his chemistry with Quinn Hughes, the fact that supposedly he wanted to stay here and supposedly he wanted to stay in Western Canada. But now throw that stay here and throw that Western Canada out the window. Now it looks like every team's going to have their shot at Travis Hamonic. So of course, with any contract, it comes down to money and term. The money, I would say, we know that the Canucks have to sign Hughes and PD, so we know that maybe I'm just guessing, maybe they've earmarked $2.5 million most to Travis Hamonic for maybe 2 years. I don't think they go 3, but Hamonic will want more than 1. So maybe, are you looking at 2 years, to $2.5 million offer to Hamonic? And if that's the case, will that get it done? Or will there be another team out there that's going to offer 3 years? I don't know if I would for a 31-year-old who's injury prone, but do you go 3 years on Hamonic? And then if so, do you also give him a bit more money, like $3 million or $3.5 million? Is he going to want to get closer to that $3.75 million that he made the season before last season? So it's so tricky, right? Because I really like him. I think he could be a solid leader on this team. I think I liked him from a standpoint of an unsung hero. I think he's a warrior. Like I said, block shots, standing up for his teammates, pitching in the odd goal in here, heavy shot, all these things, all the things that you want in a bottom pairing or second pairing. Some would say he's a bottom pairing now, given his age and his ability. But in our team, he played second pairing, sometimes first pairing if you're paired up with Quinn Hughes. So yes, I want Travis Hamonic back. I just don't know, given the recent revelations, that he's willing to go to any other team if the Canucks are going to have enough money to make it work, which would be unfortunate, but I think that is just kind of the reality of the NHL, the reality of a flat salary cap, and the reality of the pickle the Canucks are in salary cap wise. We know that at the end of next season, it's way better. Eriksson out, Roussel out, Beagle out, Holtby out, Luongo recapture penalty out. That's at least $20 million right there, but that's next season, at the end of next season. For this season, we still have to populate our blue line. And if it's not going to be Travis Hamonic because we don't have that much money, then forget about Sammy Vatanen or any of those guys, Cody CC, because they're probably going to want to make the same type of money, I think. So are you filling from within? But who's that? Chatfield, Rafferty? I don't know. So you can see why this is such an important and crucial negotiation for the Canucks. And I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you worried now that the Canucks leverage there has been weakened? Are you worried that the Canucks will not be able to re-sign Travis Hamonic now, given his openness to going to other teams throughout the entire NHL? Leave a comment below. I'd love to read, react, and reply as always. I want to give a shout out to my Hall of Fame members, Jens95, Sim Alexander, Justin Credible, Nucks fan number 29, Lucas Gates, Chris Seifert, Adam Broomfield, Jamie Sports Soccer Moore, Shea Family Channel, and Shannon Hollingworth. Thanks for your support as always, and thanks to the support of all members of all levels. You are listed in my video descriptions. If you want to become a member of the CCC Crew, press the join button underneath this or any of my videos on the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. One last programming note. It's Sunday's Father's Day, so I'm going to Mass at 6:30 and then going out for dinner with my family. So for franchise and Hall of Fame members, our Zoom chat will not be the usual 7:30 at night. It'll actually be 4:30 Pacific time. So between 4:30 and 5:30 Pacific time, maybe that means some of the Eastern folks can join us as well. But that's when I'm going to be doing the Zoom chat, and I'll send out the link on Saturday. That's tomorrow. Oh, hey, Canucks fans, leave a comment. Tell me, what do you want of Travis Hamonic? Do you want him back, and how much do you think it's going to take to make it happen, and for how long? Leave that comment. Subscribe if you'd like to. Like this video if you'd like to. Become a member of this channel if you'd like to. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Have a great day. God bless, and go Canucks go.